Whenever he said luck, we wish them luck, and that's an important word. I was like, what does he mean? What is that? Is that like a encoded message to QAnon, to the other Trumpites, that this isn't over, and in all actuality, we weren't playing 4D chess, we were playing 17D chess, where Trump is so smart that he actually pulled like a Doctor Strange, and the only way to win, according to Doctor Strange, is one way out of 14 billion. So, and that just happened to be where Trump has to lose. So that when the UFOs come after disclosure and they reveal that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are actually reptilians from deep underground military bases, and then some executive order thingy is reactivated that makes Trump president again. That's how smart he is. You just guys wait and see. Is that?
Yeah.
And I'll lead and you follow. Bounce. How about that?
Got it. I'm a good follower.
That's right. You voted Democrat, didn't you?
Indeed, I did.
Not that the Republicans think the same way. If during the recording of the Superist show episode
3,642.
exactly, yes, say that one more time backwards.
5.6423.
That one. If during the course of this recording I scream like a little girl, it is due to an emergency happening in my kitchen. Just so you know.
I'm so looking forward to a girly scream, Mr. Crumpton.
Well, I'm not, dude. I got a dishwasher installed in my kitchen not too long ago. You got a dishwasher?
Well, we have a dishwasher, yes.
Okay. Well, how long have you had a dishwasher?
Well, in this house, 2 years.
I mean, your life.
My entire life, as
Your
far as I'm.
entire life. Okay, just to give you some context, I have never owned a dishwasher in my entire life.
Oh, you're moving into suburban life.
I guess so, but I've always been a do it by hand guy, but I had one installed. And I did what every dude does with instruction manuals, file 13'd it. Who needs that? So anyway, I just put dishes in it and hit a bunch of buttons. All right. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the dishes come out clean. I don't know. But I took a hiatus for about 4 or 5 days, went up to the mountains, and unfortunately, from time to time, if you don't properly maintenance your brand new dishwashers, they'll clog up, right? And the water will sit in the bottom. And if you're gone for almost a week and you get back, you have a nice surprise waiting for you. So, anywho, it won't drain. I keep hitting the drain button. It won't drain, Dylan.
Well, that's no good.
It's no good.
Did you try telling it really sternly?
I didn't talk to it. I know, I just hit buttons. I looked at the buttons and I saw one that said drain and I hit it.
Oh,
Heard
see,
some.
you gotta hit buttons and tell it very sternly to turn off or to drain.
Well, I'll have to give that a shot. I just saw a button that said drain, hit it about 50 times. 50 times it whirred and clicked and whistled and nothing happened. So I just went in there and hit extra buttons and they blunk. And so I hear it doing some stuff in there, like shimmying and shaking and shit. So if
Oh, that
it's
means
like,
it's working.
okay, because anywho, but if I scream like a little girl, go, ah, it's because like my kitchen's flooding into my office and that's not good. And that
Yeah,
wouldn't be
that's no good
productive.
at all.
That'd be bad radio.
No, it'd be great radio, but it would be bad for life.
Bad for life. Bad for life. All right, Dylan, what's up, man? Tell me what's going on, dude. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the topic out there, touch it real quick. Na 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 na
Oh,
na
you
na
said you were
na.
gonna touch a topic.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Did you watch the farewell address, Dylan?
We're not gonna watch pre-written bullshit that he doesn't actually mean.
You didn't watch it at all?
No. I
Well
read
then,
the transcript.
well this show's over then.
No, it's not.
Okay, so you
Because
read
I
the
can tell you what he said.
okay, so you read the transcript, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to waste precious brain cells hearing his voice when I
Oh,
don't have to.
all right. Well, by the end of this episode, I might convince you to take another look at that thought.
Okay.
Okay, so you read the transcript. I watched the Trump say it. Your thoughts? Tell me what's going on. Tell me what it was.
It was nothing. It was Trump. Ooh, we did everything great. It was a great time. I am great. Uh, we weren't great enough to win, but that's okay because the other guy didn't win either. We're gonna come back and win again later, I promise. But we won this time.
I'm glad. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Earl Grey tea. I was about to take a sip of my tea when you started that. I'm glad I didn't before you did, dude. That thing would have been all over my monitor.
What do you think? What do you think of my Trump impression?
I think, yeah, you nailed. Not only did you nail the impression, but you nailed the humiliating look in his fucking face when he said it in front of the green screen tonight or whenever. But the message too. I mean, when I listened to it, I was like, as we say in the South, the gall.
Yeah, the guy incited a riot not 2 weeks ago, and now he's talking about we have to accept with humility.
I mean, okay, look, from my understanding, because you know me, dude. Most of the Trump presidency, whenever I went on a show and somebody asked me what I thought, my instant response was, I don't talk about Trump, right? Because I just whatever. I didn't want to pay attention to politics the moment they announced him as the Republican nominee. I was
No,
like,
I totally understand.
I'm
I've
like,
thought about stopping to pay attention
yeah.
or stopping by paying attention.
I was like, I'm deuces, dude. So it's not worth me discussing it. However, now that his administration is over, I feel that it's appropriate for me to make my own, throw in my 2 cents about it.
See, I think there's nothing wrong with talking about the Trump presidency from the perspective of thoroughly mocking it. Because can I just read a quote that he gave
I
about
would
a
love,
hurricane?
I would
Because I
love
think
it.
it's fucking hilarious.
Read well now. Give me the backstory first. What now?
So there was a big hurricane, and
Right,
Trump
right,
was recording a video about it.
right.
And he said, quote, "It's a very bad hurricane. It's the most wet we've ever seen from the perspective of water."
He said that.
He said that on a recorded video.
People voted for that.
People voted for that. And
People are
even
angry.
worse
That's
than that, even worse than that, there's a segment of the population that can't believe that that guy didn't win.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, don't get me wrong. Joe Biden puts his foot in his mouth every 5 minutes.
Oh
I
man,
mean, my
I
dad
just
and I
got
were talking today, and we said Trump will say the N word because he means it. Biden will say the N word 3 times and go, "Oops, did I say that? I didn't mean it."
man. I just got a text from Jesus Christ. He said 15 minutes ETA. You know what I'm saying? He is fed up, and all the other messiahs are too, and they're coming with. That's all I gotta say.
Uh,
But
yeah,
anywho,
uh,
so read me the thing. Oh, you already read me the thing. Was that the whole thing?
that was the dumb quote. He's had a lot of dumb quotes, but that one was just,
Mm.
my God.
Well, okay. So the past few days on my weekend trip, I peeked in a little bit on some of the news, because I'm now it's kind of interesting. You hear the clutterbutt, and I know it's a soap opera, but it's like yeah, every now and then you got to tune into the Oscars and see what's up. Not all the time, but just tune in and see where the characters are in whatever season of United States of America Incorporated. So been paying a little bit of attention. Like the past few days, like the mainstream media and stuff's been saying he's been cooped up in a room He's turned against everybody in his inner circle. Basically, he's like suffering. He's going into a crisis because whatever. Is that so? Is that what you've been picking up?
I mean, I don't watch a lot of news.
Okay.
I follow politics, but I don't watch the news generally. But yeah, that's the general impression I've gotten as well. Not even from watching the media, but from the lack of news that we've gotten.
Okay. So is it also true that Trump said, because I just glanced at the stuff, so I'm trusting you, dude, at this point, my activism, dude, I got my freedom. I know how to use my constitution, so the rest of you guys are on your own now. However, uh,
Don't look for just general advice for everyone. Don't look for freedom in politics.
no, not at all, man. You better look in a mirror and get some spine to just exert your rights, is all I'm saying. But anyway, what the hell was I saying, Dylan?
You
Oh,
were asking what something he said.
um, oh shit, what did he say? Well, for one, let me ask you this: has he conceded yet?
He said we did not win, but he's never. Most presidents give an address where they congratulate their opponent and they go through the pomp and circumstance. Trump hasn't done that.
Right.
Um,
Well, oh,
but
by the way, before I forget, because I just took my medicine, it's brought to you by Canna, sounds. Uh, which made me just forget what I was going to say. Thanks, Neil.
terrible podcast host, Daniel.
You're the host this time.
Am I?
Yes.
Wait, you told me to follow.
No, that was before we started hitting record, so that doesn't exist.
Oh, right. Okay, got it.
That's on the cutting room floor, which means let's sweep that away.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So did he? Did the word whenever he said luck, we wish them luck, and that's an important word. I was like, what does he mean? What is that? Is that like a encoded message to QAnon to the other Trumpites that this isn't over? And in all actuality, we weren't playing 4D chess. We were playing 17D chess, where Trump is so smart that he actually pulled like a Doctor Strange, and the only way to win, according to Doctor Strange, is one way out of 14 billion. So, and that just happened to be where Trump has to lose. So that when the UFOs come after disclosure and they reveal that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are actually reptilians from deep underground military bases, and then some executive order thingy is reactivated that makes Trump president again. That's how smart he is. You just guys wait and see. Is that?
Okay, I have a question for the Trump people. How do you look at that man and think he is so smart that he's playing 17D chess? How does that work? I don't look at, I'm a Democrat. I don't look at any of the Democratic politicians and think they are so smart, they are playing 5D chess. No, most of them aren't smart enough to play checkers
No. Or Connect Four.
or Connect Four. Like, I'm sorry, but no.
No.
No, so what did he mean by luck? Honestly, that's just how he talks. We wish them lots of luck. It's a big word, a powerful word, and we wish them much of it.
Yeah, I mean
It's just how he talks.
that doesn't sound like I'm gonna give him an offer they can't fucking refuse. That doesn't sound like Trump's version of that.
Not to me, because I think it's just how he talks. He likes to build up the words. I don't know. He's a
Okay,
weird guy.
yeah, he's out there. I
He's out.
had a conversation with my lady about it, and I was like, Jesus, what did I say? It was pretty funny when it came out the first time, without me having to think about it. What was it? I have to edit this part right here because I had a brain fart going on.
Do you want me to pretend that there hasn't been a big wait?
Yeah, whenever I pitch it.
Got it.
Jesus Christ, what was it? Okay, she was in the bathroom doing her fucking makeup. I had just read some article. Oh fuck, I don't know. It'll come to me later, and I'll shout
Wow,
it at
Daniel,
you.
that was so funny.
I know, right?
That was so witty.
All right, we're coming back now, and bleep. Okay, I don't know. So, what else you got on his farewell address? Give me more, man. We're on a roll. I think feels good.
I I just look. He's gone. Can we just be done, please? I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of him. I'm tired of the media following his every move. I'm tired of the people on Twitter who reply to all his tweets and think they're being super clever when they're not.
That's
I'm
what it was, Dylan. I remember now.
all right. Circling back.
Full circle. So I was in the doorway and I was, telling her, yeah, according to the news feeds and everything, Trump's like losing his mind. He's like doing a Howard Hughes. He's in one room. None of his inner staff are talking to him. He's not going to pay Rudy Giuliani for whatever. He's not going to the inauguration and he's losing his mind, according to this MSNBC thing I saw, right? And she said, do you think that's true? And I said, you know what? I said, for a guy like that who was born into this world and had every fucking thing handed to him from the beginning, who
Mhm.
has never heard the word no, I mean, this dude has gold plated toilets,
Yeah.
Dylan.
Yup.
Okay. Now, a guy who through speech writers sound like he's for the common man, but doesn't even know what a neighborhood that I came from looks like. For a guy like that to look in the mirror and say, "I lost," or that's a bad
And
impression. I
I
lost. I said that.
lost. I
I,
lost. What does lost mean?
what is this word? Lost. Somebody said, like a lot of
I
somebody said no.
I like that TV show. It's a good show.
you know, I said for somebody like that, he's never had to fight for a scrap of food in his life. I said for that guy to lose, I believe it might be true that the guy's probably going to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
and not just that he lost, but is there a more profound way to lose than to lose the presidency by a landslide? Like, is there a more
Especially
profound way?
especially when as you have couch diagnosed him as a narcissist, especially for somebody who's, as you say, a narcissist, for
I
that
mean,
person whose their entire life has said, I'm the greatest, I'm the best. Nobody says no, I'm the smartest. I got the best words.
yeah,
For that guy who the entire time his presidency, where the entire country was ripping itself apart in fury
yeah,
because of his actions,
he was
because of
sitting
his
in his gold
words.
he was sitting in his gold palace thinking, they love me.
They
I'm
love me.
best. There's
I'm the
never been
greatest.
like when he said at the debate, I'm the best president for black people since Lincoln, maybe better.
Maybe better. I mean, dude, and for that, I mean, he actually believed it. And I mean, and even like with the whole thing where the rigged elections, and then it all being shown that no, it wasn't rigged elections, and then conspiracy theorists and who those people are, Cuberts or whoever, with them saying, well, it's he's playing 40 chess because really we tracked all the ballots and blah 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 blah, and then all of the representatives from all the states come back and they go, no, the election was what it was right. For that guy to finally and then still say he's not going to concede and still hasn't, to look in the mirror and ultimately have to realize that his shit's getting hauled out of the White House in a U-Haul. Okay,
Yeah.
for that guy to know that, to come to terms with that, that dude needs to go see a shrink quick, buddy, because he's gonna
Yeah.
snap like a twig. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I
I
mean,
mean,
am I off?
no. I'm reminded, I don't know why, because it's not totally accurate. I'm reminded of the Thanos quote. It must feel so terrible to think that you are right, yet to fail all the same.
Yeah, makes your legs feel like jelly.
After all your failures, where did it bring you? Back to
Back to
me.
me, bitch. Back to me. Snappity dap dap dap. Snap snap. Snap snap.
Like, okay,
Trump got Trump got snapped.
this is a general rule I have. Don't worship politicians. Don't think they're smarter than you because they're probably not.
Probably not.
I mean,
Likely not.
some of them are probably smart, but most of them are fucking morons.
Oh, man. So did he actually say he wasn't going to show up to the inauguration? And if he did,
Yeah,
what do you think
he,
about that?
he's not going to show up. He said he won't be showing up. He's going to his resort in Mar-a-Lago, and he's going to hold up there. He's going to have a little address for himself. And frankly, I don't care. I don't.
What does that sound like to you, though?
What?
What does that sound like to you, though?
Oh, that sounds like a kid who got told no, and he's going, fine, I'm going back to my room. I'm taking my toys with me.
You are Professor Xavier, because that is exactly word for word what I was fucking thinking, Dylan. That's creepy. I'm not even shitting you. That is almost exactly word for word what was in my head. A spoiled little brat. I'm gonna go take my toys. I won't play no more. Damn, you're
I
good,
didn't
dude.
lose. You lost.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus.
How
Jesus.
did how did 20% of the country get so wrapped up that they actually thought he was intelligent?
Dylan. Oh man. I don't want to say this.
I had a I had a low opinion of humanity's intelligence, but these 4 years have done a number on it.
Dude, I mean, and it's ultimately it's by design, ultimately, but I don't know. I don't want to say what I got to say right there. I love the, I love,
Texted you.
I love the ideals that this country was founded on, the idea of America,
I,
and
I, I do as well.
yeah, but and I had for so many years I did have hope in the American spirit and the American people that are on this land that they would snap out of whatever the fuck and
Well,
rise back up to reclaim their freedoms and their liberty on every level. But you know what, Dylan?
well,
that flame of hope is flickering
well,
because it's flickering, but
yeah. I think ultimately the ideals that the founders held and the ideals they built America on
yeah.
were optimistic at best about the will, the character, and the intelligence of its citizens. They called it a republic if you could keep it, but I
Hmm.
think they assumed that people could keep it.
Yeah. Hope,
And
you know.
yeah, that's a good hope, but ultimately, I think a governing structure needs to be built not on the ideal that the citizens can keep it afloat, but on the idea that the citizens are going to fail it and
Yeah.
that it needs to be sustained.
Yeah. Oh, all right. The other thing I wanted to bring, well, what? Nah, we're not. I don't want to bring that up yet because I want to save that
Oh,
for last. I want the cherry on
okay.
top of this cake to be at the tail end. Let's pick the bones of the farewell address and the whole issue of him leaving office.
Okay.
So, what else you got?
Well,
What other
he's gonna
commentary
leave.
do you have?
He's gonna leave. I've always said Trump has very authoritarian leanings. He very much admires authoritarianism. That's why he has such an affinity for people like Putin, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong Un.
Yeah.
But he neither has the intelligence, the will, the ambition, or the people around him to be a fascist. He has none of the things that are required of a fascist to fully take power successfully. And I think that's what not only January 6th showed, but I think that's what the fact that he's leaving office
Right.
despite 40% of the country thinking that he won the election. I think that's what that shows, that he never had the stomach for it.
Right. I don't know. Well,
I,
I was thinking about this today. I want to get your thoughts on it because I remember, when my energy was really into activism in '08 and 2012, and a long time thereafter. I remember kind of watching the cause and effects of the social structures and these groups within the country after an election, right? Whether the candidate won or lost. And what I mean to say is now that Trump is gone, the group that you and I have lovingly dubbed as the Trumpites, which includes several other groups like the Cuberts and whatever, the Proud Boys and all these, you know what I'm talking about? These little factions that
Yeah,
all can all come together under one flag, which is Trumpites.
yeah, and I think we can also
Alternative
classify.
media.
Yeah, I was about to call them out by name too. Yeah,
Yeah.
the alternative media is frankly the connective tissue of this faction.
Okay, so that being said, now that their flagpole or their lightning rod that brought all of them together is now dissipated into the wind, into the history books, as it were, what's going to happen to those groups, do you think?
It can go one of three ways. So I've been very interested because I think a lot of these people are just Republicans who will support whoever the Republican is because they are ruled by fear of the quote unquote socialists. Um, I really think that's where a lot of them are going to go. I think they're just going to stay where they are. But does another Trump come? Trump has a lot of kids. They could run for office.
Oh,
There,
God. Why did you
there,
have to remind me of that?
there are senators who very much have an affinity for Trumpism. Senators Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz in particular. Um,
Just
there
threw
are a
up a
lot of
little in my mouth.
what?
I just threw up a little in my mouth.
Oh, it's going to get worse. There are a
Don't.
lot of Congress people like Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan, who have that same affinity. And then there's somebody else who I think unites the factions, unfortunately, ideally, and that's Fox News host Tucker Carlson.
Is that the guy with the bow tie?
Yes. Yeah, that's Bowtie.
Bow tie. That's enough
Because,
said, bud.
because Bowtie has the racism that the Proud Boys like. Um,
How
the
so? What's wrong? What's racist about bow tie?
uh, Bowtie has said a lot of things against Muslims, against Mexican immigrants. I can find the quotes, but
No, no, I'm talking about. Wait, are we talking about Tucker Carlson or the literal like bow tie as an entity?
no, we're talking about, well, unless Tucker Carlson is being controlled by the bow tie, which I wouldn't rule out, we're talking about Tucker Carlson.
It's like an alien mind control device is using him as a meat puppet.
Yeah. No, I think Tucker Carlson's a robot, and the bow tie is like the AI in the
Oh,
center of it.
great. Oh, well. All right. So, I mean, so the groups just kind of splinter away from each other because now they don't have anybody to rally behind until then. And that's going
Well,
to be at least 4 years, maybe 8.
I don't think they splinter off. I think I think what happens is they sort of fade into obscurity, but they stay together until their next lightning rod appears.
Mm.
Um,
You think
and
they'll have the sticking power to do that through 4, maybe 8 years?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a very interesting test.
That'd have to be a strong flotilla of groups. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's it's going to be interesting to see if any of these groups, looking at you, alternative media, do any introspection over the next 4 to 8 years. Because
Oh,
if they do, maybe they realize that, hey, some things worked, some things didn't. Maybe they go to the drawing board. I don't think that's the likely outcome, to be clear.
okay. So the groups that we just mentioned, like the Trumpites, that would be to the right-leaning people. So what happens with groups like BLM and Antifa?
Um, now, this is a more interesting question, I think,
Mhm.
because as much as right leaning people like to say, oh, Joe Biden's a scary socialist communist, without understanding the definition of either, um, the left, the socialist left, does not like Joe Biden. And they are going to use the next 4 to 8 years to build up a base of power in Congress in the Democratic Party.
Hmm.
That's their game right now. I don't know the future of the literal groups like BLM. Antifa's a group of loosely connected splinter organizations that doesn't really have a functional leadership. They just have like splinters. They're very diffused. So is Black Lives Matter, but they have a literal organization, but not an organizational structure, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of like the Freemasons.
Yeah, kind of like the militia groups that are all around the country.
True, true. Hmm. Well,
Um,
so all that being said,
sorry, I have a couple really funny things that I need to show you.
funny things.
These
I
are
love funny things.
these are about some of the rioters in the Capitol.
Okay, so you're sending
The-
this through chat.
oh no, I'm just gonna tell you them.
Oh, okay, that's better because I was gonna say people who are listening can't see that shit, Dylan.
No, I'm just gonna tell you. It's
I,
okay.
I.
So, a realtor, I believe her name was Jenna Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
um, flew her private jet to the Capitol riots, um,
Oh,
and
fancy.
what was intelligent enough, I use air quotes,
Mm-hmm.
to give her name in her full name, Jenna Ryan, in a recorded video of her in the Capitol committing crimes. And she gave her full name because she was shouting out her real estate business and telling the rioters about her business. I've said this many times, but I feel like it bears repeating here. We are so lucky that the authoritarians in America are fucking dumbasses. And then another one, I can't remember their name, tried to delete the pictures of them at the riots, but they only deleted one copy.
Look, if a picture goes up on the internet nowadays, it's everywhere.
No, it wasn't. It was in their possession.
Oh, it was in their possession. How do they have a Polaroid? Do they
I,
make those?
I don't know. I just read the court briefing.
All
Like
right, right. So Biden's going to be president, what, tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Yeah, what's that looking like for you? How you feeling, buddy?
I've never considered the Biden victory anything more than a Pyrrhic victory.
A what victory?
Pyrrhic. A
Spell
Pyrrhic.
that.
I believe it's Phyrrric.
And the definition, please.
It's a basically it's the fancy way to say you cut off your nose to spite your face.
Ah,
Um, you won, but the victory cost you so much that it's almost a meaningless victory.
that's correct. That's exactly right, Dylan. I knew that too. Uh,
um,
good
and
word. Good word.
thank you,
I
and
like learning new words. I appreciate that.
of course,
You got the
I do
best
too.
words.
I do. I have the best. They're tremendous words. Believe me,
Tremendous.
nobody uses words better than me. They
Nobody.
they told me, Donald, you use words the best, better than anyone we've ever heard.
Oh God. I showed I showed my lady bad lip readings of Trump this weekend. And she was like, that's what
I
they would say.
can I send? Okay, I know nobody can see it, but I'm gonna send you a meme, and I'm gonna then say the meme, but it's perfect.
Okie dokie. Oh
Um,
boy.
there it is. It's going in the chat.
Going in the chat.
Um, So the meme is of an Axios interview that Trump did, where he kept handing notes to the interviewer. Like he kept handing him reference charts, and the reference chart was taken out, and it says the J in Donald J. Trump stands for genius.
That's great.
I knew you'd appreciate it.
That's great.
No,
Yeah, I agree.
um,
I think this is what I think. I think like that whole conspiracy theory about after Ronald Reagan got shot and they took him to the hospital, they gave him like cold blood to make him brain dead. So really, the Reagan administration was the first Bush administration to do head of the CIA. I think that like that's probably the deal with this. This is like part two to that with Biden and Harris because it's like that dude. He doesn't even know what fucking planet he's on at all.
Joe
And so it's
Joe is
he's
definitely Joe is definitely losing it a little bit. He's old. I don't I mean, when you
so
have 78-year-old presidential candidates, what do you expect? They're all
so
going to be a little gone.
So that being said, who's really getting inaugurated tomorrow?
Well, they're both getting inaugurated tomorrow.
No, but
Uh,
really,
I know. I was just
say
being a
it,
smart
Dylan.
ass.
Say it.
Harris and Biden are both being inaugurated tomorrow.
Say
And
it right,
Har-
Billy.
say what, Daniel?
Kamala Harris.
What?
Kamala Harris is becoming the president of the corporation tomorrow. Not fucking Biden. Give me a break. Give me a
I
break.
I think Harris will have an outsized influence at the very least, if not outright control. I think Biden is there, in his own words, as the bridge because he thought he was the only one who could beat Trump and usher in the era for young Democrats. He, I think that's, and he was there to get back to the Obama years because that's all he wants. That's all. He has no vision beyond going backwards.
Well, you know me, dude. I I didn't have a dog in this fight. I've been equally critical of both sides because I think both sides the past 4 years have done a number on this country, and I don't mean in a good way.
No, I agree.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I'm talking about the participation of both the left and the right. People who were backing Trump or backing Biden or whatever have caused so much uh, is it frenetic or kinetic energy has just turned the spirit of this country, in my opinion, nasty lately. Just
oh
really
yeah, no,
nasty.
it's very nasty. No doubt about it.
I mean, it really has. So I think both of them, both sides, and both people who are fanatics of both sides or whatever side they pick, man, you guys, you should figure it out because I don't know. I don't know. It's pathetic. So I don't want anybody, who's listening. Oh, he just hates Trump or whatever. Dude, I don't like any of them. Like that kid came to my
Yeah,
doorstep. I said, "Who are you with?" The Republican Party. I said, "No, get the fuck." Basically, they get off my doorstep. I don't want it. All of them are tyrants. They need to be hung. I don't. I don't care. I don't care. RD, whatever, whatever.
yeah. I mean,
Don't care.
I'm never. Look, I have a bend. I have an allegiance to an ideology,
But it's
but
dwindling. Tell me it ain't dwindling, buddy. This.
no, it's my belief in my ideas is not dwindling. My allegiance to a party,
Yeah.
it has never been there. I align myself to my ideas, and the best way to get us there. I if any of you listen to my podcast, you know I'm critical of Democrats. I think they are inept, incompetent
That's
in
true.
every way.
I'll give you that.
They
I,
never know what they're doing strategically.
Yeah, me and you really see eye to eye on most everything except for one thing, and that's voting for the lesser of two evils. That's really the only thing me and you disagree on if you boil it down to it, Dylan, politically.
I don't know. I think if we got to economics and some other stuff, I think we would find disagreement. But I think broadly we agree. I align myself with the libertarian left. I believe in left-wing economics, but I very much believe that the government should stay out of people's private social lives.
Right. Well, I'm going to read this article and we'll discuss it, and then I think we need to wrap it up because I don't want to blow a gasket, which I'm pretty chill. But you ready?
All right.
All right. Let me get my reading an article professionally voice ready.
Mm. Do you have your audio book voice ready, Daniel?
Yeah. Me. I don't
My,
know.
my.
Yeah, whenever I read articles, I do it like I'll switch accents anyway just to keep it interesting
Oh,
because
oh,
this shit's just trash.
go for it.
Okay, this is from abcnews.com.go.com
Mm.
/politics/Biden -plans -dozens -executive -actions -days /story
Oops.
!ID equals 753245552.
Oh, you're going to blow a major gasket. I just know it.
Link will be in the description below, as the kiddies have said. Biden plans dozens of executive actions in first days. Not long after he takes the presidential oath on Wednesday, Joe Biden will use the power of his pen to begin a sweeping transformation of U.S. policy through dozens
of executive orders, presidential memoranda, and other official directives. Nowhere found in the Constitution. The wave of executive action will unfold over Biden's first 10 days. According to incoming administration officials, if the plan plays out as expected, the number, scope, and impact of the new president's early moves would exceed those undertaken by his three most recent predecessors. Quote, on Inauguration Day, President-elect Biden will sign roughly a dozen actions, end quote. Incoming White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain wrote in a memo to senior staff last week, quote, while the policy objectives in these executive actions are bold, I want to be clear. The legal theory behind them is well founded and represents a restoration of an appropriate constitutional role for the president, end quote. Donald Trump, on his first day in office in 2017, signed a single executive order to begin rolling back the Affordable Care Act. He signed 4 more orders and 8 presidential memoranda in his first week. According to a review of the Federal Register, by the 100-day mark, Trump had signed 33 executive orders. Neither Barack Obama nor George W. Bush signed any executive orders or other presidential directives on their first day on the job. Obama signed 11 executive actions in his first week, while Bush did none. According to the Federal Register, quote, we're going to act on day one. We're going to act to get COVID under control, end quote. Biden declared in November ahead of Election Day. Aides to the president-elect say unprecedented and urgent action is justified in the face of 4 concurrent national crises, the pandemic, a historic recession, blah, 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 blah. You get where it's going. You think you
I
get
do.
where I'm going to.
I do. I understand
All right.
I understand where you're going with
All
this.
right, Professor Xavier. I already know that you're locked into the cerebro from earlier. What the fuck am I thinking?
You're thinking executive actions are entirely unconstitutional and everyone who does them should be thrown out of office.
Yeah, that too, but I was hoping you would be able to get more.
Well, I know where you're going with it, but I wanted to let you have your fun. Uh, it it rhymes with rang.
Rang?
Yeah, you want them dead.
I mean, it was still in the Supreme Court. Treason by sedition is, punishable by death. Is all I'm saying. But
Death
that's not
by.
really what. That's really not what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
What I was thinking is this. I have said this consistently in my opposition to Trump or any other president who uses quote unquote executive orders to try to do an in round run around the Constitution. And I have said from day one that whatever powers a president puts into that branch are not going to be diminished by the next administration. They're only giving more Caesar-ish powers to the next guy. If we justify one single executive order, we basically have opened up the floodgates for, well, eventually an empire, an emperor, or a dictatorship. It's the doorway. Now, during Trump's administration, a lot of the people who I talked to about my opposition to Trump, they will, yeah, but he's using executive orders to bring back the Constitution. I'm like, that 2 wrongs don't make a right. That's what my daddy taught me. 2 wrongs do not make a right. You cannot use executive orders to do an in-round run around the Constitution. And if you do it once, if you do that, it's something treasonous to try to prevent something treasonous. It's just a mind circle jerk. It's a philosophical circle jerk. But here's where I really wanted to go with it. And I said that from the beginning. So for all those Trump people who hated on me for that, I don't want to hear a goddamn word about any executive order that Biden signs. Not one fucking word. Not one word. Because you supported it for 4 years. You enabled it for 4 years. So if Biden gets in office and signs the most fucked up executive order that maybe gets us into World War III, maybe destroys our economy, maybe destroys everything that we know as America, you keep your fucking mouth shut. If you were intellectually honest and philosophically honest with yourself, you'd keep your fucking mouth shut. Because I've been screaming about this shit, and as Jones would say, it's documented. Am I lying, Dylan?
No, you've been entirely consistent on this issue. And look, I've always taken the approach in terms of executive orders of I judge executive orders like I judge a law. Do I think it's good policy? I took no uh, I don't love the expansion of the executive branch. I don't. I think that there are a lot of executive powers that have been given to the presidency that should be taken away. The Patriot Act it gave way too much power. The authorization for use of military force, the
Mhm.
War Powers Act. The
Mhm.
executive branch has too much power. But executive orders, I've always said, are they're not necessary. The Constitution, just because something isn't in the Constitution, I don't think means it's unconstitutional. It means the Constitution didn't have an answer for it. George Washington signed executive orders. Thomas Jefferson signed executive orders. They clearly didn't think executive orders were unconstitutional, and they were the framers. So I don't take issue with executive orders. I take issue with the policies enacted by those executive orders.
We disagree there, but that's for another
That's
day.
fine. That's fine. But I think we're both coming at it from an intellectually honest perspective.
Sure, but my point is,
Yeah, anyone who doesn't criticize an action that Trump took, but criticizes the same action when another president takes it, needs to shut the fuck up.
yeah, exactly. But it's messed up. It's messed up because Americans have a 4 to 8 year attention span. They really do.
You think it's that long?
I mean, if that, you know,
Shit.
because I mean, what I mean, I don't even know what's going to happen, in 4 years because it's going to be like, how can any of you, with with any dignity, stand up and say anything after all of this circus? That is, and that's another thing that Trump said in his farewell address. The world respects us again, and I'm like, I don't think so, buddy.
The
I
the
do
world
not think so.
the world does not. The world thinks we're a joke.
The I was like, I don't get that vibe from the world. Okay, and
No, the world is sitting there thinking, what the fuck is wrong with America?
yeah, it's like they think we're the on meth that we're the meth heads on the block, bud, right now. Okay,
Yeah,
you know, I think.
yeah, that's certainly the vibe. I talk to a lot of people internationally. They all think we're fucking crazy.
I mean, so when he said that, I chuckled. I was like, dude, you really are out of touch, man. You are so out of touch. But whatever. I mean,
Yeah, he's out of touch. Shocking.
shockingly
Shocking.
out of touch.
Somebody who grew up as a real estate developer heir in New York is out of touch with the common man. I never would have guessed.
Oh God.
Eh, To all the people who said that a billionaire real estate developer slash TV show host was the outsider who was going to change the world, do you feel fucking stupid yet?
No, they don't. No.
You should.
Man, I don't know. I think the only thing really, the only silver lining in all of the clouds that came out of it was I am pretty excited about the whole, the government's got to give up their UFO stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. And even like if we don't get anything, it's still something. It still
Oh yeah,
says something.
yeah, it's something. I don't know that there's going to be anything major, but it'll be something. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be something.
Uh,
It'll be something.
you know what I'm excited for?
What you excited for, man?
The next episode of WandaVision.
Oh no! Don't get me started.
Teaser for our next review series. We're gonna start talking about Watchmen, or not Watchmen,
Ah,
WandaVision.
we'll see. We'll see.
Probably, hopefully. Uh,
Yeah,
I,
but
I'm
I don't
back.
know.
I'm backing Daniel into a corner by doing
That's
this
right.
live.
I don't know, dude. I'm about to take my break and write this novel and do some other stuff.
Oh,
So I
you're
don't know.
writing a novel?
Yeah, dude, we've already discussed this. That's why we're going on break for the most part.
I don't think you told me you're writing a novel.
We even talked about it on a podcast. You never listened to me. Never.
I'm sorry, honey.
Oh, it'll be all right. Oh, man. All right, I think we beat the horse to death. He's gone. You got another moron coming in, and then you got a bunch of other people who's going to tune into the TV show. Me personally, I think I'm just going to
I'm not. I'm going to cancel my subscription to bullshit for the next 4 years again, and focus
Yeah,
on other, better, more productive things. Because I just wanted to see the season finale.
yeah, I am trying to focus more on myself. So I'm going to be not avoiding politics, but politics is not getting the brunt of my focus anymore.
Yeah, I'll peek from time to time, but I think I'm out again because I, just, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Luckily, I think we can because as stupid as Biden can be, he's not going to try to take the spotlight every single day like Trump did.
Right.
So
And
I think we can take a break.
to my knowledge, I don't think he's like a Twitter meth head, is he?
No, and
Tweaker, a
he's
Twitter tweaker.
no, and at the very least, he's not an overt narcissist.
Oh, well,
Overt.
I don't know. So that was an interesting finale to that season of stupidity from the
Yes.
corporation of the United States of America, and it was nice. A lot of people
The,
made a lot of money. A lot of people who sell masks made a lot of money.
yeah, though I do think that the writing is getting a little contrived, and I think we need a fresh perspective in the writers' room.
What they need to do is like a Lorne Michaels and just rotate the cast out, dude.
I
Something.
do. Yeah, some of the actors are getting a little stale. The performances are a bit wooden.
Yeah, I think Season Trump was more like a badly written comedy, not quite Monty. I mean, not Monty Python. It's genius. Uh, you know, I don't
It
know.
it was a lesser version of a series of unfortunate events.
I haven't seen any of that, but it was kind of like it was supposed to be funny, but then it got campy, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I would prefer. I hope next season they take it in a different direction. I hope they take it into more of a very quiet, slow,
Introspective
introspective. Let's get
character
our
study.
character study of let's get our shit together before we make any more waves type season would be
Yeah,
great.
I think that would be a good season. Develop some, let the cast develop, let the characters develop, let the scenery mature.
Yeah, man. Let the viewers kind of rest for a minute to,
Yeah,
marinate on
maybe
that.
let us
Yeah.
maybe let us refill our popcorn.
Refill our popcorn, maybe,
Side
go
note,
to
I
the.
just had some really good popcorn.
Really? What was the occasion?
Really good. Nothing. There was nothing in the house to eat for a
Ah,
snack, so popcorn.
popcorn. Can't go
Popcorn.
wrong.
You can't.
So, yep. I don't know. That being said, I have to have my dinner and a show before bed. Tonight's movie will be Spectre. Thank you very
Ooh,
much.
enjoy.
I know. You don't know why?
Why?
I just went ahead and made the decision that, since the country is just whatever, I was going to start like a secret society of like super secret agents, and you know,
It's so super secret. You're announcing it on a podcast that's going up on YouTube.
well, but see, that's pro and telco propaganda. See, it's propaganda. See,
Ah,
you
so
just
if you
basically,
tell them about it, then they don't believe it's true.
yeah, dude, it's like my career as a serial killer. Sometimes I'll introduce myself to people and they'll be like, "Hey, what do you do?" And I'm like, "I'm a serial killer," and you'd never believe it because I just told you. And like, it's like, wow, is he telling the truth or not? Nah, he couldn't be telling the truth. So that's why I'm so successful at that career. So now that I'm going to start like my own little MI6, Mission Impossible force, which will do like I don't know, good deeds. Like all be connected through the internet or something. And when a good deed needs to be done or somebody needs to chuckle, like we'll just be by MK Ultra, but not MK Ultra. My version of MK Ultra, which is Feel Good Ultra, right?
Mhm.
Brought to you by the Gorillas Feel Good Inc. See what I did there? And then like
Yeah.
once like you answer your phone and you hear like, Clint Eastwood start playing, then you just go boop, boop, and you go and like do a good deed. Give a homeless guy a sandwich or something, walk a little old lady across the road. I don't know. Something like that. Leave a really big tip for your waiter or waitress. So that's what my organization is going to do. We're not going to kill people or blow stuff up. We're just going to do stuff like that. And you want to
Good.
join? You want to join my club?
Uh, I'll take a pass, but I'll be watching. I'll be watching
Dylan,
those.
Dylan, I wanted to make you the director of being the first person in my super secret club,
But
man.
uh, but if I say I'm gonna join on here, then it's not super secret.
Oh, see, you don't understand all that shit that I just said. See,
No, I do understand, but if you tell people, they still have evidence.
God, fine. I don't want you in my club anyway,
Yeah.
butthole. I'm taking my toys and going to my private island with Melania.
Okay, Donnie. Okay, Donnie, have a good time. Don't come
And
back
that,
anytime soon.
all right, man, take us out.
All right, that was the super show ever, episode 3462.5. Stay tuned for the next episode. I don't know when. Daniel's got to write a book.
I gotta write a book. Laters, taters.
Laters.